Okay, how to beat Azhdaha. So, we're going to be using Amber for the majority of the fight here. You can look at her gear, it's okay. It's not that bad, it's not that good, okay? It might look like pretty high level, but don't get nervous, okay? The boss fight's not hard, it's just long. And so this damage is just there so you don't spend 7 years. Anyways, we're going to be using Kaya as well to dodge. That's pretty much it. We're going to have Shungling for the double pyro bonus, that's flat 25% damage bonus, and Noelle for the shield because of the DOT. Anyways, let's get into the fight. Okay, so we've got Azhdaha here. So in the story, you never get to fight his like later phases past phase 1. So beating him shouldn't be that big of a problem if you're fighting him in the story. The difficulty comes from the fact that it's RNG which version of him you get per week. But for the most part, his moves are really not that bad, okay? If you use this method, right, which is just to spam Amber, you shouldn't have too big of an issue, okay? He's really vulnerable to just being kited. And so that's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna sit here, and we're gonna, you know, just shoot a bow at him. And if you're wondering why my Amber shoots 2 arrows at once, it's because she's Constellation 1. It's not mandatory, it just adds a little bit of damage. So anyways, we bring Kaya because he's a tall male, right? They have the longest dash ranges of any character archetype in the game right now. So we're just going to use Kaya to dodge. You can use Amber too, but, you know, it's safer to use Kaya. Anyways, this first phase here is really simple. So the plan is just stay far away from him and just shoot him. He doesn't have a crit spot, so you don't have to worry about aiming, right? So if he prepares like that, all you need to do is just dodge to the side. You always want to stay decently far away from him, because sometimes you may be too close, and you won't be able to dodge. So like this thing, you want to go to the side, right? You also want to stay far away. The main reason why you want to stay far away is because he can enter, you know, phase 1 or phase 2. So he also has these spikes, which you can just move out of the way of. But when he moves into phase 2, if he's too close to the center, he will just stomp at the like where he is. If he's too close to the edge like that, he'll go ahead and teleport to the middle like this, and that gives you plenty of time to just snipe him from here. So he'll do this stomp in between every phase change, right? So it'll be around 75% HP and then like 30% of his HP. So anyways, it's Pyro week right now. So he's going to start off with Pyro here, and Pyro is pretty easy to deal with. So every one of his phases has the same sort of like types of moves. He'll do this, and you know, it'll just drop a thing, and then leave Fire Floor. Be careful, the range on that thing is not accurate to the indicator at all. It's like nearly 50% past the indicator, so you have to stay pretty far away. So all he does will, you know, he'll just infuse his moves with Pyro here. It's not a big deal. That'll just happen with every version of him. He'll just infuse his moves with whatever element he is right now. So this week is Pyro, right? I think this week is also going to go into Cryo as well. So second phase Cryo, you'll see that occasionally, you know, he will have certain combinations of elements that will slightly change the way that you will approach the second phase, but for the most part, it's not a big deal at all. It's just very simple. So anyways, the game plan literally doesn't change. We do the exact same thing as first phase. We just sit here and we back up and shoot him. This shouldn't be too hard to do on like mobile or like, you know, console, stuff like that. You don't need very good aim because he'll just sit there. Anyways, looks like he's going to go ahead and swap over. So we can just sit here and just get free damage off. It's not a big deal. Anyways, so he's going to go ahead and fuse with Cryo. And Cryo's pretty easy too. You know, again, the range on the indicator when it drops things is not that big of a deal, right? He'll go into this little thing here, right? He'll go into the ground, and then he'll just drop icicles. The way that you want to learn how to dodge these is that, one, you can afford to stay still in the beginning and then just use Kaya to dash the second that you see the rune blink, right? So notice how when it drops, I dash, right? The rune blinks, and I dash. That's pretty much the key to dodging that. It's pretty much the same with every other rune except for the fire one. That one doesn't really blink. But for like Electro and Hydro, same deal. These are a lot easier. Much smaller range on them. You can just dash at them the second they blink. Not a big deal. They'll just leave little hailstorms. I need to eat some food. So I'm going to eat some food real quick. Okay. Just so I have some extra stats. Anyways, he'll do this thing. Just don't stay too close to it, and you'll be able to dodge out of the way just fine. Right? If you're too close, the homing will be too strong, and you won't be able to dodge. But it'll slowly lose homing the further away you are from it, so, you know, again, just stay far away from it. You know, you can stay far away from him, you can stay far away from it. The only form that you want to stay close to when he's doing a certain move is Electro, and I'll show you that later. But for now, this is really easy. It's just stay far away, just keep peppering him with normal attacks. I mean, you don't even have to do normal attacks, you can charge it up if you want to. It's just, he gains resistances to whatever elements he's infused with, because Pyro, you know, that's what Amber is. I'm not going to use Pyro Amber against him, so if you build physical Amber, like I am, you'll have a pretty easy time with every single version of him. He has a 40% resistance to physical, if I remember correctly, and it doesn't go up per, like, form. So it'll just stay a flat 40%, so just stack as much damage as you can, right? And just kite, you know? It's you're not in a rush, right? You know, unless you need to fight him for an event, in which case, good luck. But for the most part, if you're just here to beat him, you just want to beat him once a week, not that big of a deal. Just sit here with Amber. You can do this with any bow character, but, you know, I like Amber because she's free to play. And everybody has her because she's free to play. So anyways, nice, easy time here. Dodge with Kaya. It's always nice to have a tall male around, just to dodge. You just dodge that nice and easy. We're gonna go ahead and ignore that. And anyways, give me 1 second. I took a double dash. Sometimes you'll have to do that. Don't worry. Once more. But yeah, anyways, you see it blink, you just dash. Don't worry about it. It's nice and simple. Anyways. Easy. Okay, so we've got Hydro Azhdaha here. And you know, he's pretty simple. The rule is don't touch his balls, okay? So he's gonna spawn balls, and you just have to pay attention to where they are. Okay, there's a little bit of a sweet spot in terms of like where they spawn, because they can spawn on top of you. Okay, I'm gonna give you 100% right, like, disclosure right now. They can spawn on you, and sometimes you will just get unlucky. Okay, so sometimes, you know, when he's swapping forms or whenever he's doing the move, you can like sometimes dash underneath it, right? But you know, that maybe I got lucky there, so I wouldn't rely on that. But swap to a character that you wouldn't mind dying whenever he summons his balls, because it's kind of a big deal. But otherwise, you know, he just does the usual. He has the same moves from Phase 1, just this time they're Hydro. Okay, it's not really a big threat to anything. If he is Electro, he will infuse his Hydro balls with Electro, and it'll do extra damage and make you Electro charged. It's kind of a sad day if that happens. But you know what? It's all good. Okay, so we do have Electro Azhdaha here. Please don't mind the 5-star characters. I will swap to Amber. Fine, I'll do it right now. I'm mashing the button. Anyways, Electro Azhdaha is pretty much the exact same as the other ones, except he does have one move that you have to watch out, and it's this one. Okay, so he'll dig into the ground and cause these big areas. And the key to dodging this is to get as close to the center as possible without being in the center. So you see that big circle in the middle there? Basically, just get as close to it as possible without, you know, being risky. And you can very easily dodge between all of the areas. Otherwise, it's the same moves as Phase 1. And you're good to go. Anyways, easy.